I'm going to use an interactive simulation to describe how fugacity for a single component changes with temperature, changes with pressure, and a link to the simulation is given here. So if we look at a figure from that simulation, this is fugacity as a function of temperature. First thing to point out is fugacity as units of pressure. This is a function of temperature at constant pressure, and the pressure is 0.85 megapascals. One reason we know that is we're assuming ideal gas here. So in the vapor phase, the fugacity is equal to the pressure of this component, pure component, which is 0.85 megapascals. So in the vapor phase, for these conditions, ideal gas, fugacity doesn't change as we change the temperature. It's just equal to the pressure of the system. For liquid phase, however, fugacity increases exponentially because it's equal to the saturation pressure, and the saturation pressure is increasing exponentially. So in these plots, we see dashed lines. So fugacity, liquid, keeps increasing, and above the saturation pressure, well, we still can calculate it, but the most stable phase is the one with the lower fugacity. So above the saturation temperature, vapor has the lower fugacity. That's a stable phase. Below that saturation temperature, liquid has the lower fugacity. It's the stable phase. So let's look at now fugacity as a function of pressure at constant temperature. So here we have fugacity as a function of pressure at constant temperature. And what we see is that at low pressures where we have a vapor, fugacity is equal to pressure, so this is a 45-degree line. As we increase the pressure, the lower fugacity members the stable phase. So the liquid now fugacity at this temperature, it's a constant value, saturation pressure. And so as we increase the pressure, this plot shows fugacity does not change with pressure for liquid. If we go to very high pressures, indeed, we see fugacity will increase slightly the pressure. This is actually an important increase, but for what we're looking at here, over this range, it's essentially constant. And finally, let's look at if we have a real gas instead of an ideal gas. So now you notice that fugacity is not a straight line at the vapor phase, but instead it's curved because we have a non-ideal gas. Fugacity now is different from the pressure. For liquid phase, nothing has changed from our other plot, but now the fugacity, you notice, is lower than the system pressure in the vapor phase because we have a non-ideal gas. There's interaction between molecules. And we have to use some equation of state to determine fugacity then for the vapor phase. Now let's look at this simulation and see how things change on these plots. So here's fugacity as a function of temperature. And this is the plot we showed at 0.85 megapascals. If I increase the pressure, then we stay liquid, of course, to higher temperature because now we increase the saturation temperature, but the graph looks very similar. If we now look at fugacity as a function of pressure, a straight line for the vapor phase, and as I increase the temperature, I'm moving to a higher pressure before we reach liquid phase because we have higher saturation pressure. And then if in the simulation I click here, then I can show the real gas plot, assuming it's not an ideal gas, and how that changes as we change the temperature for this plot of fugacity versus pressure. Fugacity is very important in terms of phase equilibrium, so it's important to understand this behavior of liquid and vapor fugacity dependence on temperature and pressure.